Hey y'all, I am back with a different video today. I am going to be doing a DIY backgrounds series, and I'm going to continue doing my embellishment series as well, but I am adding to it. And so my plan is to have different types of DIY topics. So the first one I started was embellishments. I'm doing backgrounds now, and then I'll continue to do other things. And my next plan is to do some project life related DIYs. So this time I'm doing gouache paint, and the idea is to just kind of show how I would use these products on my backgrounds. I'm not any type of expert with mixed media at all. In fact, I don't even really feel that comfortable using mixed media, but from time to time I do like to kind of mix it up. So all I've done is I've taken two colors. I've taken the fluorescent pink of this gouache paint and also flesh colored, and I've mixed those two together, and I put my paintbrush in some water. So the way I explain the gouache paint is it's kind of a mix between acrylic and watercolor. It goes on like butter. It's a lot more opaque than watercolor, but it takes a little bit longer to dry than acrylic paint. I love the consistency of this. I love that it like puts a thin layer on your page. I'm actually using Canson watercolor paper, and the original pack is 18 by 20, or I'm sorry, 18 by 12, and I just cut it down to 11.5 by 11.5, and just used a paintbrush to just lightly stroke across the page just for some like natural strokes. And then now I'm dipping a Martha Stewart round sponge into white acrylic paint, and I'm just gonna dab polka dots all over the page. You could leave, this doesn't really have anything to do with the gouache paint. I just wanted to add a little something different. You could leave the brush strokes as is, just for that texture, which looks really great. In fact, I questioned whether I should have even added the dots, but like, it's mixed media. I mean, I feel like you can kind of go wherever with this type of project. But I really love the way that it turned out in the end. And I'm taking a round brush right now. I had some leftover color on my, maybe I added some flesh. Actually, I added some of the flesh color to my palette, and I'm just going to tap this round brush, I think it's a watercolor brush, on my paper and just give it a little bit of extra, a little something something to the outside or to the edges or around what the focal point will be. Now I am showing you on a regular piece of white cardstock how you can just add like regular polka dots. You don't even have to add and this is still using the gouache paint. I just had this is where I had leftover on my palette, and I thought I would use it for another background. So one thing about that is if you're doing a project like this and you're doing mixed media and you finish one background and you set it aside to dry, like why not make a few more and have them ready to go for another project? And then when you are ready to do the project, and most of you probably do this, I just thought it was like, for me, it was like the first time I had really done that. So I thought, oh, okay, well, I should do that more often. But basically, I just got and grabbed a piece of regular white cardstock, and I'm going to mat both of these photos. I think I cut this down to like 11.5 by 11.5 as well. And I think I'm going to mat both of my backgrounds to pattern paper. Now, you guys will see me complete these layouts. The video shows that it's like, I think over 9 minutes, because I do complete the layouts, and it's just a very thankless process. I do not try to put a lot of thought into it at all, and I really liked the way both of them turned out, and I was pretty pleasantly surprised. So here's the second background that I did. I'm cutting it down and using my ATG runner to just mat that so that it's just a stronger adhesive. And I just mat that onto, I think it's crepe paper notes and things. I just matted it right onto that pattern paper. And so if you guys saw my last video, I used quite a bit of crepe paper items, but I did not use all the pattern paper, and I didn't use up all of the embellishments. So I try to knock a lot of it out, and I do believe I achieved that for this particular layout. I'm just going to layer up all of my different pattern papers underneath my photo, and then I will start to embellish here in a little bit. I do add a little bit to this background, and so I just kind of thought, like, instead of just laying the picture with all the layers behind it, instead of just laying it right on top of the background paper, or right on top of I guess it would be pattern paper because I added to it, but right on top of the background, I decided to add a little something just roughly stitched, and I really love the way that that turned out. Now, okay, so you know when I have my hot glue gun out that I'm really gonna just like not think about the process and just like go with the flow. And sometimes, and I've had a few videos in the past, like it's probably been a couple of years, but I've had a few videos where I did something very similar, and I always like the way these layouts turn out. I don't know why I don't do them more often, but I really just didn't want to think a whole lot about it. And um, I will say that I like this layout probably a little bit better than the next one that I show you, but I like that they turn out, to me, they turn out okay. So um, I'm just using, like I said, some of the leftover embellishments that I had for that, for my other scrapbooking process video that I just posted, and just using my hot glue gun to adhere a lot of these pieces of ephemera. Some of the pieces that I use are homemade tags. I just added that heart that's like the pattern heart. It's a floral pattern, and I had made that. That's a tag that I made in my video the other day. Here's another one of my homemade tags that I made. I think I had to get another glue stick, and just I ran out. And like I said, I'm just kind of going through the process and not really thinking a whole lot about it. I thought about putting another X and O down at the bottom, but I decided not to. I got these little blooms or pinwheels, or I don't think pinwheels is the right word, but it's like these little folded flower blooms or whatever. I got those from the Dollar Spot collection, or the Dollar Spot during Valentine's when they had their Valentine collection out, and I didn't like the center of them, so I'm just taking them apart and doing something different with them, but they're already done for you, which is kind of nice. So here's the second layout that I'm going to be doing. Again, I'm just going to be like trying my best not to think too hard about the process and just kind of going with it. Even if things like don't line up perfectly or they're not straight, and you know, there's plenty of time to like do layouts like that, and sometimes you just have to mix it up and do different things, or try new things at least. One, and for me, these two layouts really were a lot of fun, and not that it was anything like crazy new, but it was something that I haven't done in a while, so it kind of felt new. And the other thing is, I've been in my craft room so much lately because I'm changing it up and I'm doing different types of videos, and I'm making my own embellishments and doing project life, and I really think that's helping too with me keeping like my momentum going. So I'm having a lot of fun lately. So I'm just going to continue to layer different pieces. I thought about cutting that pink heart paper, or that pink paper with the cream hearts. I thought about cutting that a little shorter because I realized it was just kind of hanging down a little too far, but I just decided not to worry about it. I had hot glued it, and I placed so many pieces of ephemera on top of it that it doesn't end up mattering at all. So I'm using some of my leftover thread just to add a little bit of interest and texture to, I think, the bottom right hand corner and the top left. And then I'm just gonna continue to layer up ephemera, and I really love the way that this layout came out, and then I also love the way the other one turned out too. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and got some sort of inspiration from this. And if you have any suggestions on things you guys want me to try, please let me know, and let me know what you thought about this particular series, or I guess the start of the series. And I will, like I said, I will continue to do the embellishment videos for sure. I'm having a lot of fun doing that. Plus, I'm using them on all these layouts. So I feel like that's so worth it. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend, and let me know if there's any questions. See you later.